The Nintendo 64, one of the most beloved of all Nintendo consoles, was also maybe the second most hyped I ever was for a Nintendo console, the first being the Super NES, obviously. It was also the first console I can remember pre-ordering. In fact, I don't even think there were pre-orders before N64, but I encourage you to let me know how wrong I am in the comments. I put down a deposit in the Bangor, Maine Toys R Us and picked it up that September. Pretty much my entire life was then dedicated to Super Mario 64 for the next several weeks. It was a much simpler time when I could just spend money and time more freely. Nintendo incredible hype machine had teased us for months with details on this new high-powered device based on silicone graphics workstations.
This is massive power in a finesse form.
And they're all going to want to have this power.
SGI is gone now, ripped to some real ones, but in the 1990s, they were the top of the heap when it came to rendering animated computer graphics. Any association with Silicon Graphics Inc. was basically a huge flex, and Nintendo and SGI partnered together to work on what was then known as the Ultra 64. I wouldn't get one again until 1998, purchased specifically so I could play Ocarina of Time, and I kept that one, I don't know, like at least 5 years. What I'm saying is, like all of my retro consoles that I currently own, none of them were originally mine. I've picked them up secondhand over the years, and they're all kind of nasty. This N64 is no exception. It's not the worst thing I've ever brought home. That would be an early 1980s PC a mouse had turned into its home, but it does need a little cleaning. So grab a toothbrush, a screwdriver, and some rubbing alcohol, and let's get to fixing and cleaning these classic gaming icons. Let's go! Here are the tools you're gonna need. One of these special nut drivers. You're gonna need a regular old Phillips head screwdriver. After that, you're gonna want a very small Phillips head screwdriver. The smaller the better, but not too small. That would be ridiculous. Good old toothbrush. Keep your teeth and your retro stuff clean. Cotton swabs, good for a million things, but not the thing that everyone uses them for, ironically. You're gonna need one of these little tools to pry things apart. It's just a piece of plastic. Little alcohol, keep things clean and disinfected. Yeah, so there's just some dust down in the words and the letters here. First thing I'm gonna do, put on my glasses because I'm an old man and I can't see things anymore like I used to. Oh man, there's some crud. Crud down in there too. Not really a fan of that. Excite bike out of there. It's just like any other Nintendo console that I've taken apart so far. However, this one does require the special tamper-proof little tool up there. But as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these that I need to remove. Don't really need to take this out, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Why not? That way I know when I get my 64 DD, when that finally comes to the West, it's not coming. So, I mean, what's nice about these old consoles is, all things considered, these aren't really that hard to take apart. They're not hard to clean up. You know, for the most part, these old consoles, they just kind of work for like ever. So put these off to the side and give it just a little pull and it should come right apart. Oh yeah. I might have to get a spudger because you can see it, there's a little hook down in there. Did I get everything in? Oh, bad news. I forgot a step. We're gonna take this little fella out here. Now, if anybody out there knows how to take this out with just your fingers, let me know. I can't do it. I always have to use a plastic tool to pull this thing out. So, okay, that's what was holding it together. Ugh. So we've got literal cobwebs inside of here. just some dirty crud from like fingers, boogery fingers over the years. Not mine, by the way. This was, I don't even remember where I got this one from, as is the case. But as you can see, it's just gross looking in there, and I'm not a fan. Now we are inside of things, and we're gonna have to switch it up. Oh, this is really filthy, actually. I'm kind of bummed out. Once you get inside, you no longer need your specialty screwdriver. You're just gonna need a normal Phillips head screwdriver. I'm gonna take these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, somebody's been in here before, and they forgot to put that back in there. Screws just do not want to come out. Okay, there's a lot of screws in this. Here we go. Okay, let's give that a little wiggle waggle. You out of there yet? Nope. Oh, look at how clean that's supposed to be compared to how it actually is. Not clean. Pull this all out, but I am missing a step here. And I am thinking, in fact, I'm thinking correctly, that these screws for the memory expansion are grounded to the rest of the shielding, which is good. Then you have a nice equipment ground. There we go. Hard to believe, but those two little screws were the only things that were holding it all in. Do I want to take this off? Oh, look at the beautiful surface mount capacitors. I love circuit boards. That is just who I am, and I'm sorry if that offends you. Let's take a look at the other side. See what we're working with. This is gonna be really fun. So that's gonna have to go back on. So let's put that there. That is so super delicate. Everything around the memory expansion here, not fun. Very, I would almost say over-engineered. Boy, that's a beefy boy right there. Look at that! Oh my God, look at those. These are the processor heat, I don't know, I guess they're not heat sinks, but wow. Those are chunks, dude. I was not expecting that. But look at that. There we have it. Our Nintendo 64, like that's your Nintendo 64 right there. It's so little, it's so cute. All right, placing the guts, the actual Nintendo 64 on the pile with the rest of the stuff. Get these out. I guess I could just flip it. They would just fall out. Easy enough. I'm starting to wonder if I should take apart the cartridge doors here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that as well. Yeah, that's gross. That needs to be tended to. Was somebody spitting on that? You know what? This is what happens when you blow on your cartridges. Haha. For those of you who said that you always blow on your cartridges, gross, look what you've done. All right, this is gross, and I think the best way to go after this, honestly, is I'm gonna take the case, I'm gonna take all the plastic parts, and I'm gonna wash them in the sink. So I'll be right back. While we're waiting for the plastic parts to dry, we're gonna hit it with my friend, and I know he's yours, isopropyl alcohol. There's a little bit of discoloration of the ABS plastic that is just caused by, you know, the makeup of the plastic itself. Everyone used to think that yellowing was caused by like being in a smoky house. It's not true. And a lot of these consoles, in fact, I think every console that I have now was just given to me by somebody who's like, hey, my kids are adults now. They've grown up and moved away. They have successful lives. They have no need for these childish things. But you are a man-child. Would you be interested? And I'm always like, yep, I will be. Look at that. Look what I did. I messed up my pile here, so that's cool. That'll be fun. So there it is, the guts, the motherboard. I like the way it looks. I'm gonna put this one to the side. Let's get the crud out of there. I'm just gonna use a little 70% because I lost the cap to this one like months ago. Let's see how it looks. All right, I'm feeling great. I'm gonna go see if the plastic parts are dry now. Let's go. Here's a little bit of a problem. There's still a little bit of water. That's not great. We don't want any water, actually, in this whatsoever. So what I am going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of the isopropyl alcohol. I'm going to dab it in there. Hell, I'll just pour it right on there. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to aid in the evaporation of any remaining water that might be stuck in there. Now, a lot of people, they'll put their phone through the laundry. And they'll say, oh, what have I done? I've put my phone through the laundry. And then somebody online will say, oh, just put it in a bag of rice and just let it soak for a few days. That's the worst advice. That is just horrible, horrible advice to give. It's gonna actually ruin your device more than if you just had let it just dry by itself. Let's start the process of putting it back together. Step 1 complete. That's gonna sit right in there, line everything up, nice and easy. All right, these are kind of soft, so you do want to be careful not to cross-thread them or strip the heads. So that's all back together. Nothing shaking around in there. Move this out of the way for just a second. We're gonna put the cartridge door thingy back together. They have a tendency to want to go. Haha, yay me. Nothing went flying. I really respect myself for that one. What a great move. All right. How satisfying that is. Let us bring these two halves together to make a whole. Oh yeah. Or foot, or whatever you want to call it. Pieces of fur. A little bit more. Flip it. Let us put our memory expansion back in there so we can play Donkey Kong. Yeah. And there it is. Oh, there's nothing quite as fresh smelling as a newly cleaned Nintendo 64. I am Seth Macy. This has been This Old Tech. And I just wanted to say, I've been checking the comments and they're wonderful. And by extension, that means that you are wonderful. So keep them coming. If you have any ideas for things that you want to see me tackle to try to clean or to try to repair, leave those in the comments too. Leave us a like. You'll get more content like this, I promise, because I love doing it. If you want to see even more retro tech goodness, keep it right here on IGN.